Hey guys, FantasShadow here. Today we're here discussing the OBL Season 4 Draft League. It's supposed to be in almost any ability, somewhat, with ability captains instead of Terra captains, because he got rid of Terra for ability captains and only allowing Pokemon below 10 points to have it. He banned some abilities like Weather outside of the two abilities Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon get. But outside of that, it can't really do anything with the Weathers. Terrain, something else, but I chose not to. You'll see what I got for all these on the board. First off, we have Smeargle. 4 points for Sturdy and Prankster as my ability captain. Obviously, there's some cool stuff, but I can't do stuff like Prankster Spore because I'm pretty sure Sleep's already been in almost any ability. Plus, plus last I checked, Wano banned it in the last draft league anyways, so it's not like I can do much with it. But I still have access to cool stuff like Glare, Subseed. I can just have Sticky Webs and Stealth Rocks for Prankster. Taunt to stop any defoggers because there's no good as gold users. Other than that, Sturdy also allows me for some Endeavor E-Speed or Endeavor Upper Hand or Endeavor Thunderclap, any strats like that, which is really funny. Unfortunately, I can't really level my Pokemon down, so that strat's going to be more like a one-time use rather than permanent. So it's not as if I'm going to get anything good unless I've used Wish and passed it to Smeargle to get the HP restored. Other than that, it's still a really good utility mon. You can access some really cool stuff. Maybe I can even do stuff like Prankster Shadow Sweeping. Not as if it's going to be the easiest idea to do, but it's plausible. Other than that, this is just going to be a purely utility mon, so maybe there's a chance I can get a sweep for a video. Next, we have Umbreon with Underwear and Fluffy. This thing is just going to be an insane wall of Fluffy, having reduced the damage from contact moves, but it gives me a fire weakness, which luckily we have Gyarados, Heatran, and Raging Bolt, which kind of resist it, and we just have natural special walls in general. But it's good trade-off because that means I can take close combats, U-turns much easier in case something else comes in. Underwear allows me to ignore stat boost, but it also does ignore stat drops. However, it allows me to be more of a wall compared to stuff like, I don't know, Swords. For example, Swords hits Iron Hands, which I think is allowed here. So I mean, I can kind of ignore that and just fight normal hands, but that means I gotta be careful because I'm still gonna get two-shot at worst because it's Iron Hands. But it's still good because it allows me to just fight it a lot more fairly, and I can just roar it out if I need to. Abuse foul play to just get extra damage off, even if I'm running Fluffy. And then just its classic Wish Bashing, Taunt, Toxic. It's just also a utility bulk mon. Gyarados is also here. It's also going to be a sweeper. It's going to be a sweeper and utility mon at the same time. Get access to Thunder Wave, some cool stuff. So I'm also thinking of it from a VGC perspective because I'm also in a VGC Draft League where I've been using Gyarados. Outside of that, Absorb is a great ability because it allows it no weakness but rock types. Yeah, I could have used Delta Stream, but I prefer to have actual healing outside of leftovers because it means I can run boots safely without forcing myself. I get Aerialite, which turns normal type moves into flying types, which means I have an actual good flying stab with Double Edge, Body Slam. Body Slam is good for paralysis with Waterfall because then I can go for Paraflinch per usual. I also get good stuff like Temper Flare, Stone Edge, good coverage overall to hit most of the absorption mons here. And even if it didn't, I always have some other partners to deal with it anyways. I have Cryogonal below me with Sniper and Galvanize. Sniper Frost Breath is a very fun thing to do, but I didn't get Glaceon because I needed a Spinner and Defogger consistently, because outside of that, I only have the only other removal I have is Smeargle, which, while isn't unbearable with Pranks or Defog, and there's no Goldango here or good as Gold ability, it's still kind of annoying. I'd have to rely on Smeargle because I'd be removing a move slot I can use from him if I need to. Galvanize gives me Electric type spin. However, I get walled by ground types, which is kind of the annoying part. However, it's not necessarily bad because I still can hit the ground types of Frost Breath or Freeze Dry, which means they can't come in safely. So it's a benefit for me. Heatran is just Heatran, normal Flash Flare, Flame Body stuff. Great Trapper of Mammoth Storm Toxic. Gets access to some cool utility with Eruption. However, I gotta be careful for the well-baked body mons. Even if they're not there, I still could use. I can still use a mix set if I really need to, because knowing me and knowing how I've done other draft leagues since I haven't posted them in a while, I've been running mixed Heatran lately just because it's been messing around with certain teams, and it's worked out perfectly. Then we have Clefable, which is really good in general because of its great move pool and general utility. It has all the elemental moves, Moonblast, Calm Mind, Cosmic Power, Stored Power sets. It can even run a physical Belly Drum if I really need to. Other than that, it's just standard Clefable. Muck has here's Muck. We can't get a lower Muck because it's like 12 points, so I couldn't ability captain it. So I had to go for regular Muck. Got Earth Eater for the ground type immunity, plus regen allows me for pivoting. And I also could just run some really annoying tests like Toxic Acid Armor, Amnesia, Earth Eater just to be like nearly unballable. Or I can just run the standard regen AV, or just Ability Shield Earth Eater in case they're running Mold Breaker. So I have like pretty much no weaknesses outside of Psychic type moves, which is still pretty good, and stops them from being able to just shut me down with a Mold Breaker ground type. Other than that, I don't see nothing wrong with Muck here. Next we have Raging Bolt. Really good mon in general, but it's more wobble here because of Volt absorbing mons, especially if they're applied to fairy types, or just flying types, especially steel flying. But it's fine because even with just stuff like Weather Ball for Sun or Ancient Power or Snarl, it's still a pretty good mon that's really annoying to get rid of because still Photosynthesis special attacking boost is just really terrifying to fight if not prepared for. Ferrothorn has a standard Ferrothorn of Iron Barbs, Dissipation, Rock Setter, Iron Defense, Iron Press Setter. Can use Steel Roar for the terrain spam, which is really fun. It just does everything you need to do, and it has a setter like Smeargle. Runeragus is just there for roll compression. It compresses a ground type and a ghost type to block spins from Galvanize and regular spin. Unfortunately, I can't stop Pixelate or Aerolite, but it's still good because it means only 2 abilities can functionally work against this. Oh, 3 because I refrigerate for 2, but point being is that it requires Refrigerate or the other abilities to hit me or defog, which means that Mummy will apply to them, and that means they no longer have that ability. So I set up Hazards again, and they are forced to switch out and play the game with me over and over again. Overall, I like this team because it's just how I like using my mons. Though it's a little slow, it doesn't matter to me. I've done worse teams, I've done better teams, and I've piloted them all the playoffs, besides a few draft leagues. So what's not to say? Oh yeah, the total music outside, it's just a new song I found. Pretty fun song, personally, for me. Though it's quite low because I didn't want it to over-centralize me. If it is too low, then let me know for next time. I'll be sure to catch y'all later. Have a great day.